are they looking for you?
I was building a reactor small enough to fit in the palm of your hand.
You could have unlimited energy.
Well, that was the idea, but they wanted to weaponize it. So I disappeared.
He wants you to think he's left the country.
Stealing research, you get him and bring him back to me.
Grab everything.
Plans have changed.
They have changed.
I need your help.
Anything.
Where is he? Not a time, Jack. I just want you to come home and finish what you started.
You sold your soul.
Boom, there you go. That was the trailer for Off the Grid, arriving in theaters, on demand, digital, June 27th. I'm KUYA P. This is Nerds Rule the World. Joining me to talk all things Off the Grid is director, producer, Johnny Martin. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for watching this movie and loving it.
Oh, definitely, sir. Thank you for your time. You've been in the game a long time. I read, doing my research, since 18 years old, stunt man, actor, you're producing, directing now. How has this journey been, this lead up into before you signed on board to make this film happen? If you can tell me a little bit about the journey, man, and to coming now into fruition with this.
Well, the journey was, I met a guy at a car wash when I was 8 years old that told me, if you want to be in the business, you have to be a true filmmaker, not be a stuntman, not be an actor, not be a producer, not be a director, but be a filmmaker. Care more than your life itself to make a movie because it'll last longer than your life. So he told me what to do, and I trained in acting, I trained in stunts, and I was very athletic. So I figured, what's the best way of getting in when I don't know anyone? I figured, why don't I use my athletic ability? And I started doing stunts because I figured I can meet everyone on the set. I could watch every director, every producer, and I was really good at it. So I ended up staying longer than I thought. But I got under the wing of Tony Scott, the great Tony Scott, and he told me how to pick the right movies, how to direct movies, and other directors showed me ways. James Cameron on Titanic showed me what to do and what not to do because he's crazy, But it was a joy to learn from everyone. When I felt like I was a filmmaker in my head, that's when I went into producing, because I didn't think anyone would cast me as a stuntman because they think we're crazy and we're not filmmakers. And that's why I had to prove to them that I can make movies, make profitable movies and all that. And when I finally did 18 movies as a producer, I said, now it's my turn to really make what I want to make. And I was always scared to do action movies because with the movie business the way it is today, you got 18 days to shoot a movie. There's no way of making a great movie anymore in the independent world. So I didn't want to do one. So I decided to develop my own script with my writer and find a way to do an action movie that the character was different than any other character, that he didn't use a gun or kill 120 people, or the action didn't drive his character, that he drove it through his life and he used his brain to have to do everything he had to do.
I love that energy. I love that just everything. So thank you for sharing that. As a actor, someone who wears the same hats as you, what brought me in front of you is the pandemic. To when I can't be on a set right now, let me talk to my fellow filmmakers and promote their projects. It's a community, right? So thank you for sharing that, Johnny, for this industry that we love. So as you said, you want to kind of a non-gunman, if you will, someone who uses his brains type action film. Where did Off the Grid come from? When did this story come into your pocket? And if we could get a little bit into the pre-pro on, deciding to make it this your next project, and then bringing on Josh Duhamel as your lead on this, along with Kinnear, Stormare, the amazing cast you have on here.
Oh, that's great. Well, Josh, believe me, you have to do your homework whenever you cast a movie. And if you think you have the greatest script in the world and you go out to actors thinking that you have the right script, you're wrong. You have to write it to the character and have them see themselves in that role. And so it's constant rewrites when you go out to casting. You can't think that you have a gem on your hands. You only have a gem when you have actors. And to me, that's what I did. I did my homework on Josh, found out that he was a really off the grid kind of guy. I'm like, why don't we write a script about a guy off the grid? And Josh to me is a movie star. I mean, he's got this look, this charisma. Let's give him a character piece that it doesn't have the action drive his character. Let's have the emotion. Let's get the audience to feel what loneliness and desperation is and all that, and then have him have a purpose, of where he has to go with this story. And maybe he'll be attracted to this kind of movie, because it's very hard to get actors in action movies, because action usually develops and overtakes everything. So that's what I tried to do, is still keep it within a story point and keep the action as a secondary.
I dig it. So he came with it, but Greg Kinnear, I know him. I think I put put my old hat on. I remember him being like a game show guy, and then he kind of like really got into acting a little bit more now, I guess nowadays. But just this whole kind of team that he goes against, and this wild, I'm forgetting the actor's name who you had, not Greg, not Peter, but there's like
Ricky.
this wild lackey guy that is at the front end who's a little crazy.
Yeah,
but then you have another young actor who kind of is the heart of the film in a way that, that Josh wants to protect. Can you tell about the rest of your cast, if you don't mind, Johnny?
Yeah, the casting was really crazy in this movie. I decided on this movie. I always had a casting director. This movie was important for me to cast this movie on each moment and what characters brought the depth of the characters and the emotion. Maria, I went all around the world for, who plays Josie. I found her in Spain. She lived in Spain, and I just had to find this girl with the Latin blood that brought this happiness and this free for all. But yet, when she gets mad, she gets really mad. And she talks Spanish and everything else. And I just thought that would just bring a level to this movie. And then Mikey, I just said, you need to go back to when you're 14 years old and bring that character out in you. I mean, we need to love you. We need to hold you. We need to feel sorry for you. And Michael just brought that character that you just want to hold, and Ricky, I told Ricky when I found him, I watched 100 movies and found him in a movie called I Am Tanya. And I said, just seeing him walking as a villain, I'm like, that's what I need. And so when I called him through Instagram, I reached out to him and I said, can I just talk to you? I'm making a movie. And he said, yeah. And I said, can you do a reading for me, but not say any words? And just give me that whole 3 pages of no words. And he said, yeah. And I said, and make your head feel like it's 20 pounds heavier, and make it feel like it's reached out. And I go, and he performed it so well. And his arc. And I said, there's this Javier Bardem, Old Country from Old Men, that I'll never forget. We can't double it, but we got to find a way to bring a culture like that into this movie. But yet you have to balance it, because Greg Kinnear's character, it's so important that he's a villain, but a villain you want to love and feel sorry for. And you have to find a way to be evil, but melt in with him to know he's the boss.
Yeah, I almost thought Greg wasn't going to be a villain at first, but I don't want to spoil for the people just how hard the gentleman played it. Just wonderful. And also a point to my fellow actors that are listening and watching this right now, make sure your IG is up, so that way guys like Johnny will reach out, hook you up with a role. To close this out, Johnny, again, thank you so much for your time. What was like the most memorable thing working on this project? What did you really anticipate when you got into shooting it and in production, that you were really interested in pulling off from the script and bringing it to the screen?
Well, I really, it's always a battle to try to make a movie, especially in this day. And it really takes a team. It takes a balance of everyone, and especially the actors. I mean, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. When you have 18 days to shoot a movie, you have to know that when they say it's a wrap for the day, that you are willing to stay back and let me grab a camera with my DP and just go out and let's go shoot for another 5 hours. And maybe get 3 hours sleep that night, but try to make 18 days feel like 24 days in some way, and go home and still shoot. And just when you're in editing, go out and shoot again, and just keep shooting and shooting and shooting and finding layers to build the story, and never stop, and never think that what you shoot in a movie is what you're going to deliver. You have to know that once you get in that editing room, like in this movie, there are scenes that I took from the end and put them in the beginning and moved them all around. I changed the whole story around in the edit just so I can make this more entertaining for the audience.
Thank you so much, Johnny. To close this out, I think I have time for one more question. I was looking at my timing. What do you hope people take away from Off the Grid? What do you think is the message? I know we're living in a kind of a crazy world for a lot of people in a lot of ways. Some people want to go off the grid. What would you say if they're leaving away from Off the Grid and just the vibe and the energy with the world right now?
I just want everyone to know that I wish I could deliver you the biggest thing that I could possibly make, but we're not in a business that we could do that anymore. And just please know that what you're watching, even though we're limited in everything that we do, we're doing everything we possibly can to make entertainment for you. That, trust me, all of us have worked so flipping hard, even though we are given something to fail at, that we try to overlook that and still deliver something that means so much to us, for you guys, not for us, but for you guys.
Well, I got to give you some props. I recognize that as a fellow filmmaker, Johnny. Everybody held it down. There were some great sequences, despite, obviously budgetary constraints. I think it was entertaining. It was popcorn fun. I felt the characters. I was in there. And so bravo to you, Johnny. Congratulations on Off the Grid. I can't wait to talk to you on your next project, my friend.
Bring it on. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. That's Johnny Martin, director, producer of Off the Grid, on demand, in theaters, on digital, June 27th. I'm KUYA P. This is Nerds Rule the World.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there's a cut there.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. KUYA P, Nerds Rule the World. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
Nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like Nerds Rule the World. Like, I want more Black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Nerds Rule.
Love it.
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes,
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy KUYA P, Nerds Rule the World. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
do. They rule the world all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Giselle. Thank you, Johnny. It's a pleasure to chat with you. I'm recording. I'm ready to rock. If you are, sir.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's have some fun. I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1 to help me with my edit, and we'll get right into the conversation.
Got it.
All right. Here we go. In a 1, 2, 3.